It is the 2nd of May 2023. Welcome to Capital News, where we take a look at the day's top stories. I'm Angela Wamboi. Attempts by the Azimio coalition to submit a written petition to the office of the president along Harambee Avenue was thwarted after police lobbed tear gas canisters to disperse them. The Azimio MPs, led by Senate Leader of Minority Stuart Madzayo, Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, and Embakasi East MP Babo Owino had arrived at Harambee House Gate and requested to be allowed to hand over their petition. It's at this point that uniformed and plainclothes police officers fired canisters at them as the police dispersed to their waiting vehicles and drove off. The MPs had earlier addressed the press conference in the Parliament buildings and then walked peacefully along Harambee Avenue. Protesters today engaged police officers in running battles in Nairobi and within Azimio coalition strongholds. Police have had a field day keeping protesters in Kibra, Mathare, Kisumu, Homa Bay and Migori. A passenger service bus and cargo trailer were torched earlier this morning during an encounter between anti-riot police officers and protesters along Gong Road in the Southern Bypass. ODM party has, however, accused the state of hiring goons to execute the acts in order to make the opposition look violent. Transport leading into Kisumu City has been disrupted after protesters barricaded the road and lit bonfires, which forced motorists to withdraw services as businesses rushed to a close for fear of looting.
Unfortunately, our members of parliament who were on their way to the office of the president to begin the presentation of the petitions were not allowed to access this public office for which we pay with our taxes. Despite being peaceful and unarmed, they were met with tear gas and gunshots and other forms of brutality. We know why we could not be allowed to present a petition to OP on cost of food. There has been an attempt by the illegitimate Kenya Kwanza regime to mislead the people of Kenya that the cost of unga has come down. The truth is that it has not, and we wanted to prove it. We also wish to let Kenyans know that the new unga brands that they are retailing at slightly lower prices than the older familiar brands are GMO maize. A number of millers have declined to mill that maize and sell it to Kenyans as a matter of principle. It is incumbent on the Kenya Kwanza regime, shall I add the legitimate regime, to be honest with Kenyans, tell them the truth, and let them have a choice. Kenyans must not be made to consume GMO products without being told and offered a choice.
Controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie was rearrested moments after he was released by Malindi Law Courts. The presiding judge said that the court does not have the jurisdiction to hear his case. Mackenzie was then taken to Shanzu Law Courts, where he is expected to answer to fresh charges. He has been accused of manipulating people through skewed extreme religious teachings and fear of the unknown in pursuit of salvation, leading to the death of many. And finally, just across the borders, Uganda's parliament has passed a new draft of anti-gay legislation retaining many draconian provisions. Despite President Yoweri Museveni's call to rework an earlier version of the bill following an outcry by Western governments, Parliamentary Speaker Annette Anita amongst them said that the bill passed after the final vote saw the legislation win approval from all but one lawmaker. Legislators amended portions of the draft law to clarify that identifying as gay would not be criminalized, but engaging in acts of homosexuality would be an offense punishable with life imprisonment. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.capitalfm.co.ke/news.